Hi, I'm Gail, and I want to share my story with you. There's a lot to go through, and hopefully we can get it all in.
Yep. Okay, so tell me about when you was young.
When I was little, I always knew that I was different.
Yep.
I always felt different. I never felt right in my own skin. It was hard because I had to hide it from my parents, because I knew that I would be in deep trouble if I came out in them years, in them days. So I hid myself away, and what I did, I nicked one of my mum's old skirts, and I used to sleep in it for night time.
See, I think that's so sweet, that's so beautiful. Yeah.
And I kept that skirt for quite a few years until I outgrew it.
Oh, love you. Yeah. So she didn't go looking for the skirt then, it was one she didn't want then?
No, it was one she didn't want. There was some stuff she was going to get rid of, and this skirt was in amongst it. So I got in there, took it.
Yeah, that's sweet. So tell me about when you got a bit older, teenage years, and how you just didn't feel the way that you would do as a man, wanting to go and marry somebody and all of that.
Yeah.
Tell me what you felt about that.
I hated my own reflection in the mirror. I used to look in the mirror and say, this is not me, this is not who I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
It was the only thing I can liken it with like being all those years, being someone I wasn't, was like mental torture every single day of my life. Yeah. And it got to the point, you'll probably cover this later, but that I just wanted to die. Just wanted to die because I couldn't see no way out.
Yeah.
And I never knew anything in those years about transitioning or anything like that. I never knew you could do that.
So, I'm going to add something. I know my voice is behind the camera, but we will sort that out. So, in the 60s, even if you was a gay man, they would give you estrogen pills, and that would make you grow breasts and things like that, and you simply was not allowed to be gay. And that's absolutely terrible, isn't it? What a time to have lived, and you know how you want to be, you know who you want to love, you know who you are, you're not allowed to be that. How awful. And that's the time when Gail was young. So, tell everybody how old you are.
I'm 71.
See? Don't you look amazing? Absolutely amazing, yeah. So literally she went through her whole life being somebody else, and eventually it got to a big crescendo, didn't it?
Yeah.
And your childhood was terrible. Explain about your parents when you were growing up.
Yeah, as I say, when I was little, when I first started school at 5, I came out of school one day and Mum wasn't there to collect me. And I didn't know how to get home. I was only 5 years old.
Yeah. And
I was standing outside the school crying my eyes out because I didn't know where my mum was, what had happened. But eventually my aunt turned up, my mum's sister, and she took me home and looked after me. And what I found out, that Mum had left my father, but she didn't take me, she left me behind, and that really, really destroyed me in a way, at such a young age.
Did you have other brothers and sisters?
I should have had one brother, a younger brother, but through my dad knocking my mum about, she lost the baby. Oh.
And your dad used to hit your mum?
Yeah. There was a lot of violence and shouting and swearing. I can remember, like, being under the table while I was fighting and arguing, and I was only little. And another time I might be in bed and I'd put a pillow right over my head to try and drown it all out.
Yeah. It's funny, it all went on back then, didn't it? And it still does now. People say that it doesn't, but it does.
Happens now,
Yeah,
of course it
absolutely.
does.
Yeah. So let's go forward to a bit. You know, when you had your first relationship and then you got married and how you felt. You know.
I was never when I was in my former life. I was never gay. Never fancied men. Just all women. And I was working in a friend's bar. This couple used to come in, and they were regular customers, a lovely couple. And one day they brought their niece in, and I took one look at her and I said, she's mine, I'm going to have her. And my friend's son, who was roughly about my age, he said, you've got no chance there, she ain't going to go for you. But and then she was at the jukebox, trying to work the jukebox, and I jumped straight over the bar and went straight up behind her and said, can I help you? And it all started from there. Yeah. It all started from there. And I did love my wife. It was hard. You know, because we had good times, but I still had this nagging away in my head.
Yeah.
And
did she know? Do you think? Do you think she knew? Not at all.
No.
And you lost the baby, didn't you?
Yeah.
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 See, some things are just not meant to be, are they?
No,
so you was with that lady for 30 years?
Over 30 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I say, like, when I was a teenager, when my mum and dad went out, I would dive straight in my mum's wardrobe, sort out everything, and get dressed up. I even used to go out and walk around the streets all dressed up, or I'd get in my little car and drive around. But it wasn't enough, really. It wasn't enough. But when I got married, I had to curb all that. I had to, because it would have destroyed her. It would have destroyed her, my wife. She couldn't have handled it.
So, look, what time are we talking about now? Like 70s, 80s?
In the 70s,
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 70s.
Wasn't allowed, was it, back then?
No. No, because I've seen stories of what they did to people like me. Electric treatment, all sorts of things they did to them to try.
Yeah.
Oh, we can cure you of that.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's
You can't cure what's inside you. If it's there,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can't do nothing
That's
about
right.
it.
You know, you're born that way,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah.
That's it. There's no other nothing you can say to it.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
We are who we are, aren't we?
I tried to live a normal life, but in the end it got bad and I started drinking. I lost my house. I had a lovely BMW car. I lost that. But it wasn't me. It wasn't me, darling. It's no good. It's like what I say. You can lie to everyone else, but you can't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
It's got to come out sooner or later.
Sure. And in that time, because you wasn't happy, like you had affairs, didn't you?
I had affairs.
Yeah. To try and get it out of your head,
Yeah,
or
trying to prove that. Oh no, you're not like that. You're like that. But
Yeah.
you can't. No matter what you do, you can't get away from it.
Yeah. Okay. So, when did you start living as a lady then?
I perhaps should say that after I had the later affairs when I was married, I left my wife, and I went from here to there to everywhere, living in different places, and it got so bad that I got a bottle of vodka and I got every pill I could find, and I sat down. I wrote a suicide note, if you like, to my friends and relatives, and I started drinking some vodka, and then I got all these pills. I just shoved them in my mouth, and as I went to take the second drop, I don't know, something clicked and I just spat the pills out. And I said, well, I've got to do something about this. I've really got to try and do something, because otherwise I'm just going to die.
Yeah.
So what I did, I made an appointment with my GP, and he didn't really know anything about it at that time, but he made inquiries, and then he sent me to see these psychiatrists.
But so there was 3 of them, wasn't there?
Two lady psychiatrists.
Yeah.
And they were one either side of me, both firing questions at me.
God, that must have been really tough.
Yeah. And I had to go through that twice.
Yeah.
Like 2 hour sessions.
Really? You had to go through that twice, so that they're really, you know...
Yeah. Because
questioning.
They really have to make sure that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And from there, they referred me to the Gender Identity Clinic, which was then attached to the Charing Cross Hospital in Fulham, and it all took off from there.
Yeah. So, how long did it take?
It took a good while before I got to the gender clinic, because they had a long waiting list and lots of people to see. So it probably took, I don't know, a year or so, or even more, before I got to see the gender clinic. And what they say to you when you go to see them, you've got to live as a female for a minimum of a year. Change your name, change all your documents into a female version before they'll start really giving you the treat, like the hormones and all the rest of it. Because you had to have these decapeptyl injections, I think it was decapeptyl, they give them to you at the top of your bum, and that kills the testosterone. Like,
Obviously, because you're talking to me like as I'm completely ignorant, which I am. So, like, does it actually hurt? You know, when it's all taken and it's working, does it hurt? Does it, you know, like when you feel masculine before.
Yeah.
You know, and then you feel feminine. You know what you told me the other day.
If I could liken it, sort of like this, when I used to be at home with my wife, she'd be watching a film and she'd be crying her eyes out, and I used to look to her and say, "What are you crying for, you silly cat?" Now that's me.
Yeah.
That's me, because once you get on all the hormones, it does change you. And I started to think different. What was it? And when my breast started to develop, that felt wonderful. Although they, you know, like a young girl, when their breasts develop, their breasts are sore, aren't they? The nipples and all that get very sore.
And you haven't got fake ones, you've got real ones.
I've got real ones.
Yeah.
Not fake ones.
You grew them yourself.
Yeah, homegrown.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, tell me about, because you had some trouble with your parents growing up and whatnot. Your relationship with your dad, and then what he said to you, that's why you had to pop round your mum's that day. Yeah,
that's why I put round my mum's. But I think he knew more than what he was saying, because how did he know from right down in Swindon to the centre of London? How did he know that I had to go there? How?
So it was random. He just said you should go and see your mum.
He said you need to go and check on your mum.
And you hadn't spoken to her for a while? Or?
I hadn't spoken to her for a while. No, it was probably about a month or two before. No, a couple of months before that I hadn't spoken to her. Because I just struck, because I was going through my own mental problems, and I think she was schizophrenic, but she was never diagnosed. But you know, sometimes I would go there and I'd leave there in tears. I'd just leave there in tears because she just upset me. We tried to get a doctor in to see her, to sort her out, but she turned the doctor away. "There's nothing wrong with me, you're not coming in my house, go away."
Yeah.
And then we tried social services, and she'd done the same thing, she just turned them away. She wouldn't get help for her problem.
Was it suicide or?
I don't know, darling. I don't know what it was.
But your dad had a key to the flat for all that time, didn't he? This is the odd thing about it. So he went off with the other woman, but he still had a key to your mum's place.
Yeah.
And randomly told you to go around there, which you still feel a bit odd about, don't you?
No, how would he have known? Because he was, as I said, he was miles away, living with this other woman, who he'd been seeing since I was about 12, 14 years old.
Terrible.
He even had her as his secretary at work.
Oh, right. Right, okay. So, can you pick out a poem that would be especially for this moment of your life at that time? Yeah?
At that time?
Yes, please. Can you read one of your poems?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is a poem, and it will be the title of my book when I finished it. It's called The Wrong Shoes. The wrong shoes, so many years I paced in these. Down many roads I travelled in vain, not finding the answers to relieve the pain that so haunted my brain, till one dark day one sought to end this lifelong misery, the plague of my soul. A shattering moment then did occur. One found the courage to face my demons, casted out those wrong shoes, put an end to my fears, found myself the real me with new shoes that fit so well.
Love it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So, tell me about the lady, you know, the one that helped you.
Oh, yeah. This was before I started all the treatment, after I left my wife. But what I will say, when I knew I was going to change, I wrote my wife a long letter.
Yeah.
And I went round to see her and made her sit down in front of me and read all the letter.
Mm-hmm.
And she was really grateful for that. And I think she realised that my affairs and things like that wasn't me. That wasn't me, darling. It really wasn't me. And she thanked me and gave me a hug and said, you know, I hope it all goes well for you.
So,
And we were still friends, but she didn't want me to go around the house as me. She didn't want that. But we met up at a few family sort of occasions, and then she did see me, and she was fine. She was fine, and I was grateful for that because that meant a lot to me.
yeah, absolutely. So, have you had other friends that have helped you out along the way? I know you've had a lot of people against you, so it'd be
Yeah.
nice to hear a nice story, wouldn't it?
Well, this girlfriend I had at the time, she was an ex-court official and prison officer and all that, but she was a lovely lady.
Knocked this, nearly knocked it over. We've got a doggy this side of the camera, so you
And,
can hear these things. That's what it
We
is.
got on well. You know, we went out a few times, but she could see I was troubled.
Yeah.
Because of her training, and she kept on at me, what's wrong, and I couldn't tell her. But in the end, what I first said, I'm a cross-dresser, that's what I said. I'm a cross-dresser, but that wasn't. And then she accepted it. She was upset a bit at first, but then she kept on at me, she said, there's something still not right with you, do you want to be a woman? And that's when I broke down. Cried, and I said, yeah, that's what I want.
So how long ago was this?
Oh, this was, I don't know, 15 years ago or something.
Goodness, yeah.
So what she did, she gave me a few clothes and she took me around the shops and bought me some stuff. Although we stopped seeing each other, she's still a friend today.
See,
But
I love that.
she's moved to Spain now, so I haven't seen her for a few years.
Yeah,
She helped me a lot, and I can't thank her enough for that.
yeah. That's beautiful. She sounds lovely. All right. Can you the other poem?
There's three, there's another two altogether.
Yeah, I thought you could do one at the end.
Yeah. This one is just called Differences. I'll just put my glasses on. The difference between us is day and night, light and dark, sound or silence. The things that make us human. We are all different with needs and wants that sometimes set us apart. Those needs and wants can also draw us together to help us fulfill our dreams. That's where our feelings and emotions kick in. Fetch the two hearts together, live as one in the brotherhood of man.
You need to get these published.
Yeah.
Seriously, you do. So, what would you want to say to somebody that doesn't know, they know what they want to do, but not quite that whole transitioning thing? What would you say to put them in the right path?
just first of all, be really sure of what you want before you take action, because once you've had all the treatments and the operation and all that, it's too late. It's too late then to go back. Just be really sure of what you're doing and seek help. That's what you've got to do. You've got to see your GP and get referred to the gender clinic, and they will help you from there. They will give you targets to reach before you go for your operation, because I waited 5-6 years for my operation.
Yeah.
But that was the best day of my life, that operation. Best day of my life.
And when you looked down there afterwards, what did you think?
Oh, great, because that was an alien between my legs. Just shouldn't be part of my body.
Yeah.
And the day I got rid of that, sheer joy.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, there was one other thing. What I didn't know when I was younger, I've been producing female hormone.
Oh.
And I didn't know that. It was only when I had problems with my waterworks and I had to go to hospital and have all tests and that, and that's when they found out. They tested all my hormones and all the rest of it, and I found out I was producing prolactin. Which is
Okay.
a female hormone, and I was producing quite a lot. So what they had to do, they had to give me pills to calm it down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have to take pills now for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I'm on Kybergoline for for that prolactin, because that is produced from your brain something, and I had a little, like a tube. There's like a little tumour, but it's not malignant. And the medication keeps that under control.
Yeah.
Plus, I've been on hormones. Must be 11, 12 years. I have to take them every day.
Okay. Right. So, for anyone that's having trouble with themselves, not living as they should be, what would you say, from your point of view, as somebody that's only just had this done, like literally, it's 9 years ago, isn't it? 9 years ago?
9 years I had the op, but I've been living as Gail for about, must be 13, 14 years
Yeah.
now.
So this lady's 71, and she only had this 9 years ago. So that is living your whole life as someone that you just couldn't be anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was in my 50s when that everything just fell apart. I could not do it any longer. That's when I was thinking about killing myself, because I could not do this any longer. I couldn't be that man. Could not be that man.
Yeah. Did they make you go for counselling and all of that?
I've seen counsellors, psychotherapists.
Yeah. Well, it put you through the mill then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to really prove what you want, who you are. Because it is a big step, and if you make the wrong choice, especially after the operation, there's no going back. There's no going back. So just be sure in your mind, you've got to see the doctor. Then you start living as a female. You're going to get shit. You're going to get a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, can you explain a couple of your stories that you've told me before? That this is just awful, people. This is awful.
I went in a pub with my brother-in-law, his wife, and another friend of ours. We just sat there quietly having a drink, and as we walked out the door, the landlord has followed me out, and he's called me.
Oh no!
So as we walked out the door, the landlord has followed me out the door, and he's called me back, and he said, "I don't want your kind in my pub. I've got my other customers to think of. And as for you using the toilets, that is not on. That is not on."
That's disgusting.
Yeah. And then I went in another pub, locally. My friend got I just sat down and my friend got a drink. And then I went up to get another drink. He said, "I'm not serving you." He said, "You're barred." I said, "Why?" I said, "I haven't even been in here for months. I've done nothing wrong."
Absolutely.
He said, "I don't have to give you a reason. You're barred." I said, "Well, I want a reason, otherwise I'm not leaving here." And he said, "Well, let's see what we can make one up, shall we?"
See, people could be so mean, can't they?
Yeah.
The other stories that you
Yeah.
told me, it's just awful.
Yeah.
People are so cruel, aren't they?
Yeah.
Bullies,
Yeah.
because they're scared and they're threatened.
I'm no threat to anyone. Darling.
Absolutely not. I know.
I've had guys get right in my face, and I've had to stand my ground because if I showed any sign of weakness, they'd have beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
They really would. So I had to stand there right in their face and argue with them. Luckily, it didn't come to blows. But I've had to do that quite a few times.
No. So, you've not had a boyfriend or
Never had a boyfriend.
not since you've had the operation? Like, is that because you don't want one, or just because of how men are?
Because of how men are. All they wanted, they didn't want to take you. They wouldn't take you out. Don't want to be seen with trains. All they wanted was to come round your house, give you a quick seeing to, in plain language, and then bugger off back home again. Even married men. I've had married men. Oh, it'd be our little secret. No. I'm nobody's secret.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
one guy, he said, "Do you do anal?" I said, "No, I bloody well don't." He said, "I could fit you up for a butt plug so you can get used to it." No, I told him to stick it up his own bum.
Yeah, disgusting.
I know, men. Oh. You know, if I could meet
Some people have the cheek of the devil, don't they?
Yeah, if I met a nice guy, then I would go with them and settle down with them. But in all these years, every single one has either been just someone who wants sex or scammers trying to get money, who's telling you, "Oh, you're beautiful" and all that, but all they want to do is get money out of you.
Yeah.
So I've not met one sort of decent guy that I could tell. You know,
There aren't many out there.
I know.
There's got to be
I know.
some, because I know
Yeah.
lots of people that are happy. But
Yeah.
I'm the same as you like that. We need to start going out properly, down the ship or wherever you want to go. Okay, so if you could wish for something now, considering everything that's happened in your life, what would you wish for?
My big wish is to find someone who will love me for me.
Yeah.
That's my wish. You know, I just want a few years of happiness now before I get too old. People say, "Oh, you'll find someone, find someone," but I'm 71 now, and I haven't got that many. I've got more years behind me than I have in front of me.
You do look like you're in your 50s, though. You look fabulous.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah, no, I really mean that. Whatever you're doing, girl, keep doing it. Right. I'm going to introduce somebody on camera, because in the background there's been lots of,
Sasha.
Yeah. Let me lift her up. Because there's been snorting, there's been scratching, and this is Gail's baby, Sasha. So that's what all the snorting was in the background. Yeah. That's better. Like that. Yeah. So she's your baby, and you got her. When was it?
I've had her about 3 years.
Yeah.
She was a rescue.
Yeah. And she was in a puppy farm, wasn't she?
She was.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think they rescued each other, really.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You're going out of shot now, darling. So you've got to be getting better at this. I'm talking to her. All right. No, that's better. Okay. Anyway, last words.
Sorry, darling.
Got some last words to say.
Last words.
This is only part one.
Okay. If you're suffering, hiding something, please seek help, because it will destroy you if you don't.
No.
So you've got to admit to yourself who you are and do something about it, please.
Yeah. And that snort said it all, didn't it? You're in agreement, aren't you, darling? Do something. Okay. Thank you.
All right, darling.
If that was tough, I'm sorry.
No.
But yeah,
That wasn't tough.
good. That's all right
Because
then.
I'm just telling. All I'm doing is telling what's happened to me and the truth about
Yeah.
everything.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, fabulous. Right. Do you want to say some last words, or we all okay? There's always something else to say. I always
yeah.
think.
I can't think at the moment. think, because you're going to do another bit sometime, so perhaps leave it till then.
Okay, fabulous. All right, thank you so much. You're so brave. Yes, wonderful.
Thank you, darling.
And this is only like the rehearsal one. So, welcome back, guys. This is part 2 of Gail, the wrong shoes. So, Gail, can you tell me about the bigotry and the prejudice, you know, and some examples, please, love?
Yeah. One is a pub. I won't name it now because there's new people in there. I wouldn't want them to, you know, feel any backlash from it. But I went in this pub with my brother-in-law, his wife, and another friend of ours, and we sat there and we had a drink. And at the end, we walked out the pub, and the landlord has followed us out, and he's called me back. And he said to me, I don't want your kind in my pub. I've got my customers to think of, and as for you using the toilets, that is not on.
What did you say?
I can't remember what I said. It was a long while ago now, but no, I just walked away. I couldn't be bothered. I just walked away.
That's disgusting, isn't it?
And then another pub. I went in with another friend of mine. She got the drink at the bar, and then I went to get another drink, and the landlord, the guy behind the bar said, "You're barred." I said, "Why? I haven't been in here for about a year, and even then I've done nothing wrong in this pub." He said, "I haven't got to give you a reason. You're barred." I said, "Well, I'm not leaving here until you tell me why I'm barred." And he said, "Oh, well," he said, "let's see what we can make up, shall we? What reason we can make up."
So it wasn't big enough to actually give you the reason.
Yeah.
Nice, isn't it, coward?
Yeah. Yeah, and like when I was driving a taxi, people would hail me, and I'd pull up, and they'd take a look at me, and they'd go, "Oh no," and pull the taxi behind, get in a taxi behind. You know, I've had people right in my face, cursing me, doing all sorts, and I've had to stand my ground, because if I didn't, they would have knocked the life out of me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See. And it's a shame things are getting better, but it's just not quick enough, is it?
No, darling.
You know?
There are still them people out there, and they will still, if they can make you look small in front of all their mates, or they think, "Oh, I'm the big man," you know, or whatever. But
People are always scared of the unknown, and if someone looks strange or weird, to them, even though it's not strange or weird.
yeah, but how many of them guys are hiding something?
Absolutely,
They're
yeah.
hiding something inside. Because if that came out, they would be the ones being...
Yeah. And how many married men, you know, go off, you know, go to a gay club, you know, disappear and say, "Oh, I'm working away for a while," you know, and they've got the, you know, the perfect seeming life, but actually...
I've had some gay men come on to me, and one said to me, "Do you do anal?" I said, "No, I bloody don't." I said, "I've got a vagina, I don't need to do anal." And he said, "Well, I'll make it easy for you, I'll give you a butt plug so you can get used to doing anal." And
That's disgusting.
I said, "No, you stick it up your own butt."
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do it. And guys come up, married men again, "Oh, will you be my girlfriend?" It'll be our little secret. No one else will know. No, I'm nobody's secret. If you want me, completely,
Yeah.
no secrets.
Yeah, no shame, absolutely.
No,
So,
I'm not being used like that, darling.
yeah,
And no one should be used like that.
I know what you mean. Too well. Right, okay. So after so much upset, do you feel angry or sad about not transitioning sooner? Do you think, you know, when you were younger, I know the world was different then.
It's a different place then,
You know,
darling.
you would get beaten up every single day.
It's not only that, it's...
So,
If you go back to the 60s or 70s, you would have been put in institutions. They'd give you electric they did give people electric shock treatment and all
Yeah,
the rest
and
of
you
it,
had to-
and drugs and all that. No. But I do wish that I had transitioned earlier. Yes, I do.
So, what was the very first transitioning lady? Did you watch the film?
Sorry?
Did you watch the film of that first transitioning lady?
Oh, the first, well...
You know which one I mean, you know.
There was a few. But if you go right back into about the 1920s, the Dutch girl...
That's it,
the
that's
Dutch
it,
girl,
that's the one.
Eddie Redmayne, who played the Dutch girl. Oh, that
Great film, isn't it?
Yeah, great film.
Really.
And the other one was watching about April Ashley,
Yeah.
who transitioned, and what she went through. Yeah.
So I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen the Dutch girl.
Yeah.
And it's so sad at the end.
It's so sad when she dies at
But
the end.
how brave.
Yeah.
Especially for that time.
Yeah.
It's 100 years ago now.
And that's... If I'd have died and had my operation, I wouldn't have... At least I would have died as me.
As a woman, yeah.
As a woman.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, any beauty tips that you've learnt? What makeup do you use?
Whatever. I don't use a lot of makeup. A foundation, mascara and some lippy, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it. I don't like to...
What do you use that like moisturiser?
What's the name of it? There's some stuff that a friend of mine got online. I can't think of the name of it, but there's a serum you put on first and then you put the moisturiser afterwards. I can't think of the name of it.
Because we want to know, because your skin is beautiful.
Yeah.
You're luminescent.
I think that's the age I do.
Well.
Keeps me young. Keeps me young.
Okay, so what's a normal day to you?
Normal day, not very exciting.
Because you're retired now, aren't you?
I'm retired, yeah.
Even though she doesn't look like it, does she?
Just get up, get myself showered and dressed, take the dog out, and then usually most of the rest of the day is spent listening to music, which is my big thing. I love writing a little poetry. As you know, I write some poetry, things like that.
So what is it that, I know what you want already, but you have to tell the people, what is it that you want for, the next 30, 40 odd years?
I don't think I've got 30 or 40 odd years.
You don't know? You don't know?
No, well, I'm 30 years, I'll be 101.
All right, well, they might have found something by then,
But I just want to be happy, and I'd like to find someone
Partner.
to share it with, but the right person, not the wrong person, because that is terrible.
Just waste your time, doesn't it?
It's a waste of time, and it hurts as well.
So what kind of partner are you looking for?
Just the right person for me, darling.
Yeah.
I don't say if it's male or female. It's just the right person for me.
Kind.
Someone who's got a heart that's true.
So you like someone that's funny, or
Oh, I like to have fun, yeah.
into
and laugh.
poetry, or
Someone
going out
who's more
for-
into the music, really,
Yeah.
into music.
Oh,
really.
right, okay.
And just going out and doing things together, just having a life together, enjoying each other's
making
company.
your memories.
Yeah,
The important stuff. How long has it been since you've had a relationship?
12 years.
Goodness me. It's a long time.
Yeah.
So it must get lonely. So I know you've got your little dog, but it's not
That's
quite
not the same. It's not the same, darling.
Yeah. I'm not even going to ask this question. I'm going to ask this question, then I'm going to edit it out.
Okay.
So what are you using to help your urges anyway?
Sorry?
I said, what are you using to help you with your urges then?
Nothing. Nothing, darling. Nothing. No, I just...
The joke question, guys.
No,
I'm not being...
Nothing. I'm not using anything. I'm not... I'm not switched on and buzzing.
You get rechargeable ones now,
Yeah,
you know.
I know.
Yeah. Woo. Right, okay. Can play a little game. Right, it's called Kiss, Marry or Pass. Okay? So, Kate Beckinsale.
Oh yes, please.
Kiss, marry or pass though?
Well, she's straight, so it would be kiss, I suppose. Yeah, but I would love more.
Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron.
Oh yeah, very, very beautiful woman. Yeah. Maria Sharapova, all them girls.
Yep.
Toni Braxton. Yes, I would love to. I would love to, but it's not going to happen. It's a dream.
Well, you never know who you end up with. You could end up with someone just like that.
And if it's a man, it's got to be Tom Hardy.
I knew you was going to say him. Right, kiss, marry or pass, so it'd be kiss and marry.
Oh yes, definitely.
So no Russell Brand or...
Oh no.
No, he's awful, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Tony Blair then?
Tony Blair. Oh.
Goddamn awful, isn't he?
No, thank you.
Yeah. Someone actually married that. Can you believe that? Ooh, hell no.
What that man did to this country is unforgivable, and he's made millions out of it.
And still is.
Yeah, still is making millions.
Yep. So, I think this would be such a good idea for you because her poetry is so beautiful and so heartfelt. It might be a good idea to get yourself, like a website or a vlog or, on Blogger or something like that.
Okay.
But you've got to copyright your work first. Yeah. Last thoughts. What would you say about confidence and self-healing over time?
I was terrible in the early years. I had no confidence, and I felt like everyone's looking at me with daggers, and but I'm much more confident now because I'm used to it myself now. It took a long time for me to, before when I started transitioning, it took a long time for me to accept myself because of the way I was brought up. Yeah, for sure.
So, if you want to stop now for a minute. Action.
I just want to say that if there's anyone that is hiding something and they're frightened to be who they really are inside, please seek help. See your doctor. Admit to yourself who you are and what you are, and do something about it, because otherwise you will just go crazy. It will drive you to the limit like it did me. I so nearly took my life because I couldn't face who I was. But at the last minute, at that split second, I found the courage to admit what I was, who I was, and do something about it. So please, for your own sakes, please admit to yourself who you are and get help. There is help out there. There is lots of organisations and people to help you if you can just but face it and be true to yourself. This poem is called A Little Snip. A photograph is not just a picture. It's a memory captured in time. Good times, bad times for all to see. Days we wish we could see again with those we love. Different places around the world. Beautiful scenery, meeting new people, making special friendships. All there for us to see, revisit, make you smile. When you take the picture, remember where you were, the times you shared. Hold them in your heart, the tapestry of life, in that one little snap. This next poem is called This Life. This life, my life, has been eventful in so many ways. A lifestyle change that I could only dream about in my wildest dreams. And to my surprise, I found the courage, made it come true, become the person I am today. The journey was eventful, to say the least. So many changes that fulfilled me, freed my soul, set me free in every way. Life is so much better when you're free to be yourself, set free from my self-imprisoned existence within these prison bars. These days are many years behind me now. Proud to be unshackled, take my place in society, in this life, my life. Another one.
Yeah.
Oh, somewhere. And another poem. This one is called Somewhere in Time. Somewhere in time did I really find you there, a love so beautiful and yet so rare. The time we shared took my heart, my soul away. I wanted it to always be this way. Being there with you was my paradise, it was Eden, where we would always feel this way. The love flowed naturally, it endlessly bypassed time. Those days are long gone now, I live with my memories, but how I wish I could go back to that place, somewhere in time.
Thank you so much, you've been very brave.
Thank you, darling.
And that's it, and we will get to editing. Okay? Wonderful, great stuff.